This right here is the most difficult three-prong step that you have to do, and that is will. You gotta have the will to do it. The internal power, right? The internal power to have the proper perspective, the to do the action. And I'm not talking about willpower, right? Or the will to win in a sense, right? I'm talking about will in a sense where it's more powerful to surrender, to have humility, flexibility. That's where the strength is. If you can do that, that's the will I'm talking about. The will to just embrace it and move forward. You have to realize that in the whole context of things, what has happened is a small blip on the map. There is such a bigger picture out there that this is a small little thing that when we look back, we'll be able to see and understand that this was almost maybe perhaps necessary to help us to get to where we want to go, right? And so that's a difficult thing to do, right? So how do you try to learn this lesson that's happening right now? Are you able to be objective enough to learn a lesson, to apply it in the future with all this pressure to get to something greater and feel great about it, right? So how do you do that? I mean, that's very difficult to do, right? Well, you have to essentially practice cheerfulness and find a way to find joy in this if you can, to find joy in this lesson, to find joy in this pain, embrace the pain essentially and make it better. It's like the only way you can actually get in better physical shape is to make your body hurt, right? If I want to get big arms, I gotta make my biceps hurt. I gotta feel the pain and embrace it where I don't feel any pain. And that's joyful and I'm cheerful in doing it. That way I get stronger, better looking. And that's exactly the same kind of mindset you actually have to have when it comes to the will and the power. So you're joyful, you're cheerful, you're learning lessons. So now, we're going to talk about persistence, right? That's the action, that's the energy behind the things. But now we have to persevere. And that's the staying power, the endurance, the will. Both of those you got to have. You got to persist and persevere, the will to actually do it, to endure. And that's very, very difficult to do when you don't feel like going on, when all seems to be lost. You got to find and focus in on that long-term game. It's a long-term game. See, here's the thing. You can't choose what happens to us. It's unnatural. We can never choose what happens to us. Life happens. It's a game of life. But here's what we do have the power over. We can choose how we respond to it. Do you want to be a victor or do you want to be a victim? Right? How can I become stronger? How can I be sharper in what I do? And how can I come out of this empowered? That's the mindset. That's exactly what you got to do. That's the will. You do those three things that I've outlined in these 3 videos. On the other side, I'm going to see you there, better, stronger, sharper, and more empowered.